All right, we are starting our multiplication unit. First of all, I want to know how many of you feel like you're pretty solid in your multiplication facts. On a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to hold up fingers 1 through 10. 10 means I know them all. 0s through 10s, I can ace those. 5 means I know most, but not all. 1 means, oh boy, I've got a lot of work to do. Okay. Now, what are some resources we can use, hands down, if you would like to get better at your math facts? What are some ways to practice? Some dog. Say it again. Flashcards. How many of you ever heard of the website called multiplication.com? Tons of multiplication games on there. Okay. Any others? Okay. Okay. Using what? How about IXL? Have you ever heard of IXL? Yeah, those are all good examples. IXL, you can only do like 10 or 20 questions a day, but that's okay. All right, so we're going to get started today on our first lesson in multiplication, and this is using mental math. So what we want to do today is we want to make sure you guys understand that the two numbers that you multiply together are called factors, and the answer you get when you multiply them is called a product. When we use mental math, we want to try to come up with an answer that's a multiple of 10 or 100 or 1,000. So basically, we want those numbers to end in zeros because those numbers are so easy to work with in our heads. We don't want to have to write this down and do it the long way. We want to be able to do this in our head. So 3 times 10, an easy way to do this if you're not comfortable doing it in your head is ignore the 0. 3 times 1 is a basic fact that you should know. 3. How many zeros were in the problem? There was 1 0, so you added into your answer to get 30. Again, factors are the numbers that get multiplied together. The product is the answer. Why is saying 30 is a multiple incomplete? Well, it's incomplete because you have to say it's a multiple of what? What is it a multiple of? 30 is a multiple of 3 times 10. Can you find more multiples of a number? Well, we can use that same fact but add zeros to it. What would be 3 times 100? Aiden? 300. Good. And Sarah, how about 3 times 1,000? Now, if you can do basic facts like that in your head, today's lesson is going to be a piece of cake for you. All right. I have to stretch. Okay, let's try to do some easy ones in our head. Now, 3 times 70. Ignore the 0, and you have a basic math fact. Put the 0 back in your answer, and you have the final answer. Alan? 210. He knew that 3 times 10 was 21. He put a 0 in at the end. How about this one? Oh. What's the normal way? Okay, it might not always be that easy. You might want to... Okay, sounds good. How about 40 times 80? Cool. Okay, so you ignored the zeros. You knew that 4 times 8 was 32. And then you counted how many zeros were in the problem. There's 1, there's 2. You put them in your answer, and 3,200. Now, some people might say 3,200. Others might call this answer 3,200. Is there a right way or a wrong way? No, there isn't. Ooh, now we have a little bit of trouble because now we're looking at 3 numbers. So the best way to do this is pick the 2 numbers that are going to be very easy to use as a multiple in your head. So what 2 numbers do you think would be the best to put together? Darius? Say it again. 20 and 50. So my suggestion is tie them together. 20 times 50 is what, Darius? Well, ignore the zeros. What's the basic math fact? 2 times 5. Say it again. What's the basic math fact? 2 times 5. 10. And then you put in your 2 zeros. So you're right, you have 1,000. Now, you're done with those. So now you have 1,000 times 7, which is what, Alexis? 7,000. There's your answer. Now, it would have been a lot harder to start with the 50 and the 70 because you would have gotten 350 and had to multiply that times 20. We want to try to come up with the numbers that are easiest to work with in our heads. Anything that has a 1 in it and zeros in it, those are going to be our easiest. How about this one? What are the two numbers, Brendan, that you would start with here? The 50 and the 2? Okay. Can you do that in your head? Oh, then you wouldn't want to choose that. Put it down, please. Put it down. Then you wouldn't want to choose that. Well, 50 and 2, which gives you 100. Good job, Brendan. So we're done with those. Now we have 100 times 32. Well, 3,200. Good work. Thumb up, thumbs up if you feel like, I'm getting this. Thumb in the middle if I think I need a little more practice. Thumbs down if you have no clue what I'm talking about right now. All right. How about this one? Eileen, ignore the zeros. You're left with a basic math fact, 6 and 9. Do you know what 6 times 9 is? I'm going to tell you a secret right now. First of all, there is a trick for 9s. I can show you that in a minute. But on the very back cover of your math journal, you have a multiplication chart. It is at your disposal whenever you need it for now. So you can look at that anytime. Eileen, do you have your math journal? Would you like to open it and look in there? Or would you like to try to count out 6 9s or 9 6s? What might be a better option? Okay. Or for those of you who know the 9s trick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I put that down. I'm left with 5, 4. The answer is 54. Yeah, the 9s. The 9s trick. So 54, how many zeros, Eileen, do I put into the answer? Why 2? 3. There were 3 in the problem. 54,000 is our answer. Little bit tougher here. Little bit tougher. What would be 2 good numbers to put together? What do you think, Dathan? Definitely. Because 25 times 4 gives you 100, just like in money, right? So now our answer would be what, Kaylin? 100 times 33. Pretend the zeros aren't there, Kaylin. What's 1 times 33? How many zeros were in the problem? What's that answer? Say it again. 3,300 is one way to say it, or 3,300. Good work. Are you guys almost ready to try some on your own? Okay. Well, my goodness, I'm having bad luck with my eraser today. I apologize for that. Kiara? Ignore the zeros. What's the basic fact? $40. How many zeros should I put in my answer? 3 on top of the one that's already there. So 1, 2, 3. Answer? 40,000. If you already have one there, you can't count it. You have to put in the total number as well. Ooh. Kaden, which would you start with? Okay, that's fine. What is 10 times 10? 100. So now we're left with 100 times 783. Tell me what to write, and I'll write it. Kaden, pretend the zeros aren't there. What is 1 times 783? Now, put 2 zeros in. Do you know that answer? Can you read that number? 78,300 is correct. You guys rock. All right, now we're going to start some problems that you guys can try. And because we are without our iPads today, I would like you to grab a whiteboard, a marker, and an eraser. There should be in there. If there's not, let me know. All right, are we ready? What do you need, Sam? Oh, okay. Right over there on the second shelf from the top are my boards. Right next to that yellow can. Look at my bookshelf, Sam. Yep, right there.
Good morning. What a great day to be an Arrow. Today, for your announcements, we have early dismissal. Tennis is at 1:50. That's when you're dismissed. Congratulations to the Arrow football team and coaches on winning the Battle Axe game. Bringing the Battle Axe back to where it belongs with a score of 22-21. The TAS marching Arrows competed in 2 competitions Saturday. At Tri-State Laverne, TAS earned second place in class in the field competition and second place in their class in the parade competition.
All right, the first problem that you are going to be working on because it didn't show up. All right, this problem you can write on your board. It's the top one. 25 times 8 times 4. Please write it in the center of your board, not at the top, so that you have room to connect your numbers. The first one we'll do together. Emma, what 2 numbers are you going to connect to try to work with to make compatible? 8 times 4 is 32. Can you take 32 times 25 in your head? Oh, me either. I'm not that good. I don't think that was a very good choice. I'm going to look at my numbers again. What would be 2 numbers that would give us something really easy to work with? Sam?
25 times 4.
25 times 4 is what, Sam? 100. So now I'm left with 100 times 8, which is? Oh, so much better. Okay, that's our first example. You can erase and move on to the second blue problem. Go ahead and write that down now. 6 times 20 times 5. Go ahead.